everyone and welcome back. So before we start with this video, I just want to quickly let you know that I actually have a giveaway going on and I have actually teamed up with Fat. You would know that if you watch my videos or you follow me on Instagram, I'm always posting about their products, and my favourite product is actually their cookies. So they have kindly sent me 15 cookies to give to one lucky winner. In order to enter the giveaway, please follow the link in my description box. There will be a link to my Instagram where you will have to follow me, follow Fat, and leave a comment on there, like the picture, and post it. And don't forget to mention both me and Fat Bar. I tell you now, they are really nice. They're super clean ingredients, which is what I love, and they're really low carb. They're just 1.5 grams of carbs per cookie, and it's a crumbly melt in the mouth cookie, so can't go wrong. The competition will only be for the UK, so please don't enter unless you are living in the UK. And yeah, I wish you all good luck. I just wanted to make sure that the people over on YouTube actually got a chance to enter, so you will obviously have to have an Instagram account to join, but all of the terms and conditions and all of the instructions will be in that post that I will link below. So yeah, without further ado, let's go on with the video. If you're living in the UK, then you might know that there's not really very many keto restaurants out there, or specifically restaurants that are suitable for keto. So I wanted to make a video and just basically point out where you can go, some options, and what actually you might be able to order. One of the main points that I do want to stress is that even though I follow the keto diet and I follow a low carb lifestyle, I don't aim for perfection. So there are definitely some things that you're going to come into contact with when you eat out that you just can't avoid, and that's kind of the sacrifice that you have to make. So you can only do the best that you want to do. Another point that I like to make over here on my channel is I like to make keto a little bit less restrictive, because I know that is the main criticism people give to the keto diet, and they say that you can't eat carbs and you've cut a food group out, so it's very restrictive. Well, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to track meticulously. You don't have to be in ketosis all the time. You can just generally bob around and you still will see results. You still will feel good, depending on what your goal is, obviously. If you have a health condition, then maybe you have to be more restrictive or you have to be more strict, and that's on you to obviously put your health first. So as the video goes along, I will just insert some clips of where I ate and what I ate and the food that was there, and I'll just give you my tips. Obviously, the first tip is going to be plan ahead, and that goes along with any diet really. If you are kind of looking for a more healthy or low calorie or low carb option on the menu, then the best thing you can do is, before you pick a place to go and eat, look at the menu online, or usually all menus are online now, and if it's an Italian restaurant, it's probably not the best bet. There usually will be a salad option, but personally I don't like going for a salad too often, because do you want to go out for a salad? I don't personally. I will if I have to, I will if I'm in the mood, but that's not what this video is going to be, a load of salad, because anybody can order a salad. My next tip is going to be, make sure you check with the waiter as you order. So don't ever assume that something isn't breaded or something isn't deep fried, because a lot of the time they don't mention it and it comes out and it's coated in batter. Definitely ask, and don't be afraid to ask either. It doesn't matter. I'm sure as time goes on in the UK, we're going to get so much more used to hearing about low carb and cutting out carbs and keto diet, and I'm sure menus will start to change slightly. So don't be shy, don't be afraid to be a bother. I personally don't care. I just order what I want, and I make sure I ask every question under the sun, and I'm that annoying customer. But it's better to obviously ask the questions and prepare yourself, because otherwise you're not going to be happy or you're not going to be able to eat it. One of my main things that I do like to enjoy when I'm on keto is actually a roast dinner or a Carvery. So obviously on keto you can eat meat, you can eat veg, and I don't worry about things like the gravy or possible flour and other ingredients in there, because overall you're going to keep it pretty low and you're going to enjoy it. Who doesn't love a roast dinner? Especially here in the UK, that's like the #1 dinner, and you don't feel like you're missing out. It can be a little bit sad not to order potatoes or Yorkshire pudding, but I've gotten over that now. It's up to you, isn't it? If you want to put your health first or you want to stick to your diet, then they're the sort of choices that you have to make. So when you are eating out, just be aware that I would say 90% of the time it is going to be cooked, fried, or the sauce is going to contain some sort of vegetable oil. So that's rapeseed oil, or in America they call it canola oil, vegetable oil, sunflower oil, soybean oil, and probably some others that I can't think of off the top of my head. It is very likely it's cooked in that. These are things that you have to weigh up. So I don't eat out too often, but yes, I do like to enjoy something at the weekends. You can ask the waiter, you can find out, but the chances are that it's not going to be cooked in lard, it's not going to be cooked in butter, it's not going to be cooked in coconut oil, because these things are just too expensive for restaurants in general. Hopefully one day that changes. It's just how it goes at the moment. So yeah, just thought I'd keep that in mind. The only reason I try to avoid it is because it has been linked to inflammatory diseases. It can be bad for your arteries, your heart, things like that. There's plenty of studies out there to show that that is something that you might want to avoid. It is something that has newly, in the last 100 years, it's been coming into our diets more often than it should, and it's high in omega-6. So it is skewing our ratio of omega-3s to omega-6s. There's definitely some research out there that you might want to look into that will sort of back me up and maybe make you more aware of it. Another tip is, of course, you can always bring your own sauces. You can always bring your own salt. You could always bring your own condiments. You could just pour a little bit into a container. You're not always going to get a chance to do that, and I'll be honest, I do forget. I always want to take a little pack of Hunter and Gather sauce with me, but chances are I run out the door and it doesn't happen. But I am working on it, and it is something that I'd like to do, because they don't contain any vegetable oil. They're so clean, and I really enjoy the sauces anyway. So also, it could be another way of you counting the calories if that's something you're bothered about, or even the carbs. So if that is something, don't be afraid to put it in your bag, put it in your pocket, whatever it is you're doing. You could take a tiny little container. So in general, you're going to want to avoid the more saucy dishes, anything that's sort of like sticky barbecue or it's smothered in tomato. It is going to have higher carbs. But I will say now that when I was doing this diet originally, I thought anything that said it had honey glaze, or anything that said it was with tomato sauce, or it would have carrots in it, I would avoid out of fear of not being perfect. And actually, if there isn't another option on the menu, then that is going to be your best option. You might get kicked out of ketosis, it might not be perfect, it might not be keto, but it's definitely going to be better than ordering the pasta. Which kind of leads me on to my next point, which is I've been the same, and I know of other people personally, or I've had messages and had interactions with other people who would say the same thing. They find it hard. If they can't stick to it perfectly, they sort of have the mentality of, I'm just going to eat the burger with the chips and the bun, or I'm going to just go for it and have the dessert, and they go 0 to 100. Whereas if you just stuck to something on the lower scale, then you wouldn't feel so deprived and you won't completely go full force, because that is where you slip up. Sometimes that further restriction makes it more difficult, and then actually you go the opposite way. So yeah, I just want to make a point of, if there really is nothing on the menu that is perfect or isn't keto or it's got sweet corn in it or something like that, then if it's the best option there, you've done your best, and that's all you can do. And as I always say, if you do then decide to have some carbs or to have a dessert, you don't have to have every part of it. You could just, even if you had a keto dinner or mostly keto dinner, and then you actually think, you know what, today I'm going to have a dessert, have the dessert and then carry on. It doesn't need to be one or the other. It doesn't need to be 100% or nothing. I think that can be said for basically every diet out there. It's all about moderation. So if that means that you can stick to it more, then actually that's going to be better than you going from doing perfect, being so great, and then going full hog and it spirals out into 3 days worth of eating absolute junk food, carbs, sugar, horrible vegetable oils in there. If that is the option, then you are obviously going to be better off just giving yourself a little bit more leeway. I am speaking in terms of keeping this as a lifestyle and keeping this as a sustainable diet, and also not for somebody who is maybe in ketosis for health reasons. I'd like to think that most people, I'm not sure, but I'd like to think that most people who do the keto diet don't do it 100% for the rest of their lives or for years on end, because I think it is important sometimes to take a break or to actually enjoy the moment. If you're out for a birthday and there's cake going around, if it feels like that's a way of celebrating, that's a way of being with each other, and you don't want to feel left out, then I think that sometimes it is important to take that treat and to enjoy it and enjoy the moment, and then you just carry on as normal. You don't need to punish yourself. You don't need to fast and try and get back into ketosis as quickly as possible. It doesn't matter. You will get there eventually. You are going to get back into ketosis. So the best thing you can possibly do is just keep going, continue as normal, and don't feel guilty about it. We're all human. So the other tip that is definitely something that helps me, you can feel left out if everybody orders a dessert and you're left there without anything sweet. There's nothing on the menu that would even cut it. You know, everything's going to be so carby or so sugary that you're either going to completely go out or nothing. I do personally find that a lot of the time I will eat the dinner or the lunch and actually I'm so full and satisfied I don't feel the need for anything sweet, but I always come prepared, or do my best to always come prepared. And I will just say that no guilt bakes have been a lifesaver, and I will insert footage of every time I've eaten one. It's either been when I've got back from being out, or I've just had it in my bag and this is empty now, I've eaten it. But there's multiple different flavours. This was chocolate hazelnut, which is really lovely. And there was only one time I really ate this at home. Every other time I brought it out with me because it's cakey. You feel like it's actually a dessert. It's not a bar of anything. And it's so low carb, 2.2 grams of carbs this one is, and just 190 calories. So that is gonna be such an improvement rather than you eating that dessert that's on the menu. It's gonna be full of calories, full of unwanted ingredients, just full of carbs and sugar really. This won't spike your blood sugar, this will keep you on track, and it's really blooming delicious. So thank you to No Guilt Bakes for sending this. It's not sponsored, I'm just promoting it because I like it. And I've been meaning to actually talk about these on my channel anyway. Obviously, in general, the main aim is going to be to focus on something that's based around protein. So if there's any sort of like chicken wings, or there's fish, or there's a steak, that's always a great option. The main thing is getting the protein sorted. You don't have to worry, I would say anyway, too much about the fat. You can give or take the fat, as long as you have a good amount of protein and you can fill yourself up on some veggies or a nice salad with it. That is going to feel like satisfying and you're going to enjoy it. If you're taking out the carbs, then don't be afraid to ask and say, can you have extra vegetables with that? If you're trying to be quite strict on it, then ask them what vegetables it is going to come with, because you don't know what you're going to get. It might be brunch too and sweet corn. I don't know if you're wondering, but in terms of alcohol as well, I do drink on the keto diet. There are some options out there. Obviously, any sort of diet, fizzy drink is a good option with some sort of spirit. Clearer the spirit, the lower the carbs and the lower the calories. So you can always opt for that. Most places are going to do Diet Coke. I'm not the biggest fan of fizzy drinks in general, especially Diet Coke, but that is usually always the one that they have. Diet lemonade is a rarity, but it's obviously an option. Tonic water is actually quite an interesting one, because a lot of places they'll have a low calorie tonic water, and actually it's not as low carbs as you think. You can obviously read the label on the back. It will usually say however many carbs it is per 100 milliliters, but the bottle itself would be 330 milliliters. No, I think it's Fever Tree, their lower calorie one, is something like 7 grams of carbs per 100 milliliters or per 330. I'm not 100% sure, but something like that. So obviously that's going to add up if you're going to drink a few, or even if you're having one, that's quite a lot of carbs for a little bit of tonic water. I like to bring out with me some stevia. You can have some flavoured stevia. This brand does lots of different flavours, strawberry, vanilla. This is just the standard stevia one. Sometimes soda water with vodka or something like that can be quite bland. And to just feel like you're not missing out so much, it's quite a good option to bring these. Ladies, we can put these in our bags pretty easily. Guys, I think you can make it work. Again, I've got this one here, which is from MyProtein, and that's just a Flavdrops apple one. That could be nice to make it feel like you're having a bit of appetizer. Even if you're not drinking alcohol, it can just give it a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of flavour. Anything mentioned, I will do my best to link below. But yeah, I just wanted to put in all the footage and show you that even in like big chain restaurants, even in local small pubs, or you know, just any old place, you can definitely find some good options. There are definitely places which you just wouldn't be able to eat anything. Let me know if you enjoyed this sort of video, and obviously if there's anything else that you'd like to see, I will do my best to keep filming when I eat out. If I can remember to do it, then I will definitely try and get some more footage together and maybe make another video. I could even recommend some restaurants specifically. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. I could also do like a takeaway series, so we could work out which takeaway places could be a good option and what you could order. If you want me to be a bit more specific, then let me know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, give the video a like if you enjoyed it, if you want to see more like this, and leave a little comment, let me know what you thought. And turn on the bell notification so that you get notified when I do post next time. Make sure you enter the giveaway, which I have linked in the description box, and I look forward to announcing the winner. I hope you enjoyed today's video, I hope it was helpful, and I hope to see you all very soon. Bye bye. In order to enter the giveaway, which is was I gonna say? No, they're